Good morning, everyone. This is Luciana Turner, the LT&A Company, bringing you this morning tidbit. And the topic today is targeted conversations. I was actually reviewing the notes from a talk I gave back in 2017, where I highlighted 5 key points to contracting readiness. And as I was reviewing the notes, I also have notes on who I gave that talk to, or for rather. And I wrote down some notes as to some of the questions that were asked of me. And while at the time I felt the talk was very successful, I managed to get my key points across. I'm sitting here now realizing that the audience I spoke to that day wasn't actually my audience. And it started me thinking about how often are we having conversations that are not targeted to the ones or to those we should be talking to in the first place. One thing I do know in government contracting, the right conversation with the right person can make or break an opportunity. It can create an opportunity. But how many conversations are we having that are targeted and well directed? One thing I've come to realize in the some of the micro crises which have occurred over my life is that the right conversation held with the right people yield the highest results. Listen, sometimes you have to make multiple calls to get to the answer. Sometimes you have to speak to someone in the same department, but with a different knowledge base. Excuse me. But either way, the ultimate goal is to have a targeted conversation. So as you're laying out your government contracting plan, as you're creating that overarching strategy, one of your primary things you should be doing is having targeted conversation with key stakeholders, and they're not always who you think they should be. Having a conversation with a contracting officer will not necessarily get you a contract. Who says he's the stakeholder? Who says he's even administering your contracts? And if he is, who is to say he understands the pain points which led to the creation of that opportunity? Targeted conversations. Don't get caught up on, I need to have a conversation with the person in this position because their title matches what you believe you should be talking to. You should have a targeted conversation with the ultimate end user, with the ultimate stakeholder, because they're the ones who identified the need in the first place. So as I wrap up this morning, I want you to go back and look at your strategic plan. And if it does not include having targeted conversations, you need to include it. And until tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I'm Luciana Turner of the LT&A Company.